Hello, hello. I've been painting, so I haven't done a video for a while, so this is going to be quite exciting. So David and I, we're going to play in the main double A grade next weekend in a town nearby here. I like to think we're working really well. You know, we talk about a lot about our positioning and how we can support each other, which makes a huge difference because I can be really aggressive with my position, knowing that he knows what I'm doing and he can cover it, and I can concentrate on my job at the front court, knowing that he has the back. And I think David feels quite safe playing at the front as well, knowing that I will cover most things. But one of the things that David knows that he needs to work on is his front court play. He's big, he's tall, but he hits it too hard. So a lot of time, it would just get out the court, right? So I think today is about trying to get him to be aggressive, don't get me wrong, but he needs to control the shots a little bit more, right? So before we get into the faster shuttle and the faster shot, I thought I wanted to start introducing him to soft control of the shuttles, okay? So the first drill, what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna be on the other side of the net. David gonna be, I'm gonna get him like halfway between the white line, the service line, and the net. So normally David would never be this close. You wouldn't do anything, right? But the whole point is that I'm gonna basically throw to him. Can I borrow your racket, please? Here. So David would never be this close. He wouldn't do anything if he were this close. But the whole point about this drill is that I want to throw to him sometimes flat, sometimes high, and I want to be quite fast. So his racket is going to be up here, and all I'm going to get him to do is constantly, you know, bouncing up and down in the rhythm, 1, 2, 1, 2. And he's going to try to react as fast as he can and just basically just soft, push, rather than go, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to feed him quite fast, right? So he's got to learn to go.
Last time to react.
Yeah, and see how little the swing is, right? And all of it is just a little squeeze, right? And even as he changes his racket and position of his body, it's all about just soft push, right? Because why? In a game, if he's up here, I'll be at the back, right? So therefore, if I just touch it and it go over, and I'm still here, very unlikely they will do a net return back to me because I'll be here, I'll be ready to kill. So it's likely they're going to lift, which means that our partnership, I'm going to be attacking again. So soft shots are very important as well, so that like you don't panic and you start heading into the net or doing anything silly. So it's really important to have faith and know that soft shot can force a lift. And when you have a good attacking pair, it's very powerful. So you're not trying to win immediately, but you're basically setting up for the next shot and always trying to be in control. Does that make sense? So I want him to have really high grip, so let's have a look. All right, up a little bit more. So I'm gonna be here. See, that's the problem with his front court play. His grip is way too low. Way too low. So what I want you to practice is hold down the bottom again. Now squeeze for me. Now hold up again and squeeze for me. Really high up. Hold all the way up. Hold up your grip. More. There you go. Now, faster, right? Way faster, right? So the moment you go to the front court, you got to learn to shift it up to where it's comfortable for you. So that might be a little bit high, David. So you might want to bring it down a little bit. Yeah, and as you move up to the front, you slide your hand up, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw something like this, right? So basically, he's just going to bounce and just move. See, right? See, you're hitting too hard. I want all the shot to land before the service line, okay? Right? Okay? So that's what you're trying to do. So you're not panicking, right? But look, none of your shot is in front of the service line, okay? I want the shuttle to be in front of the service line. So his hand is too hard, right? So this drill is that I want the shot to land in front of the service line. Why? Because if you're up here and I'm at the back and I'm smashing, they're going to be side by side and they're going to be quite deep. Which means if you drop in front here, they have to rush up and they're going to lift. But if you head over there, it's very comfortable for them to come forward. Okay, right? So you got to learn to have softer hand, really soft hand, right? Go again, right? Soft hand. That's it, there you go. Go. Yeah? And what he has to realize is that the position. So if he's back there and I'm at the back there, they're going to be side by side. He doesn't need to hit the perfect shot. Right? So even if it go down here and he has to float it up a little bit, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be too far away to kill it. Does it make sense? So you don't need to aim for this because then you're going to take on the risk and it doesn't need to. Certainly if there's a chance, then you aim for it. But if you're rushing and you're crouching there, you just need to get the shuttle over and get that lift for us to attack. When you're in a position where they're not threatening you, do not go for the perfect shot. Don't put all that risk on your shot. That's just silly. You're basically just forcing yourself to make mistakes. Okay, so let's try this again, okay? Good job. You got to step for that, right? Shuttle. So you got to learn to go. You got to step, right? Good. And the reality is, when you play like really fast game, shuttle will come back quite fast. And there's a saying in like almost training, you only train harder than you need to. Agree? Right? So by the time your legs get used to make lots of changes and the power you develop, by the time you go into the game, it will never be that fast. But it's good to train faster than you need to. So in this example, what I want him to do is that anytime he can get the contact above the net, I want you to squeeze. Okay? And that's a squeeze. So your job is just squeeze down there. Okay? And I want you to squeeze down the middle.
All the shots to the middle.
On the shot. Anytime you squeeze, you aim for that white line. Because when you imagine, if there are two opponents side by side, just even a simple squeeze, that shuttle will come really fast to them, right? So they're preparing, defending. And the moment going to the middle, they don't have a lot of time to decide who's going to hit. Does that make sense? So just by doing that, it creates a lot of confusion. And it just takes a minute amount of hesitation, and that's enough for a bad shot to come your way for you to kill the next shot. Good. Squeeze, squeeze. All right, so in this next exercise, I'm going to throw one high that you can step forward and squeeze, and the next one will come quite fast and going to be slightly below the net. Okay? Right? So what it's like is it's going to be like this. So you squeeze, right? Squeeze it. So squeeze, go. Does it make sense? Squeeze. Good. 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 That's it. Nice. So this is a kind of exercise where like you have to learn to control the aggression and then reset. All right? When you have a chance, aggressive and then reset. Good job.